Hello and welcome. My name is Amanda and this is my channel, Her Pacific Northwest Washington Life. And today I have for you my February book haul. I have mostly physical books for this book haul. 5 of them are from Book Depository. 2 of them are from Half Price Books, and I do have one Kindle book that I picked up. So before I forget about the Kindle book, I bought A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas, which is the last of her A Court of Thorns and Roses books that are published right now. I own all of them now on my Kindle. I don't own any of the physical books because I'm not a big fan of the covers. But I am buddy reading A Court of Wings and Ruin right now with my friend Darshell. So we will be moving on to A Court of Frost and Starlight here soon. So I figured I might as well pick that one up while I was thinking about it. So let's start with the books I got from Half Price Books. I actually just picked these up a few days ago. I found in the discounted clearance section Fox by Nadine Brandes. I do own this on Kindle already, but I also really like, I don't know, it kind of depends on what book I want to pick up in what format. So I don't really mind having books in multiple formats, but I noticed that this one also had a signed book plate on it. So I thought for $4 I might as well pick it up. And it's got a really pretty cover, which isn't a reason to buy a book, but I thought it was a really good deal, so I definitely wanted to pick it up. And the other book I got is a paperback copy of An Ember in the Ashes by Sawa Tahir. I just picked up A Torch Against the Night, which is the second book in paperback on Book Outlet. And when I saw this one, I thought I should grab it as well. I've listened to the first 2 books in this series on audiobook, and I really enjoyed listening to them. But I think for my reread, I would really like to actually read the stories with my eyeballs and see the words written out and things like that. I really like listening to fantasy stories just because pronunciation can be a bit tough. But also I feel like I don't retain the information as well if I don't see it written out. I don't have a photographic memory, but I do feel like I can recall things a lot better if I've seen it written out. So I bought this, definitely looking forward to finishing this series soon, since there are 2 more books that I have yet to read. And then my book depository order. I decided this year to participate in the Cosmere read along, which is hosted by a number of people, but it's going through Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere books, or books that are set in the Cosmere. So I picked up a couple. I also have all of these on Audible, but again, this is where it really comes in handy having the book, because I was reading Elantris by Brandon Sanderson, and there were a couple characters whose names had the same Ray beginning sounding, and I was confusing them quite a bit. And then looking in this book, one of them that has that Ray sounding first name is actually spelled with an H. So I think I would have been able to distinguish them a lot better had I had the book on hand. Also, there's maps within these books, so it's nice to have that visual for reference whenever you want to look back. I think there's more than, maybe there is only one. No, there's more than one map. There's 3 of them in here. And I was going on Brandon Sanderson's website to actually look at the cities and the layout and those sorts of things. So first book I picked up is Elantris by Brandon Sanderson, and I opted for the UK covers just because I like how his books all look together in that format, and I like how I just really like the art style on these and how they're not as busy as the US covers. And I'm not a big fan all the time of people on covers. I actually like the original covers of this better than I like these new covers, but you can't buy them all in the original covers, so I'm going with that edition. But first book in the Cosmere read along. I also picked up Arcanum Unbound, which is a collection of short stories that take place in the Cosmere. And I believe March is when we're supposed to read 2 of the short stories that relate back to Elantris. So I'm really excited to read those. I'm not typically the type of person who likes short stories, but I think because they weave into a world that's so expansive, I think these will be really good versus just being short stories that aren't connected to anything else. And then the last 3 books I picked up, I'm not going to hold up at one time because they're chunky beasts, but I bought the first 3 books in the Mistborn series. So we've got the Fennel Empire, which is book 1, which is actually a slightly different cover than the other 2, but that's okay. So we've got Final Empire. We also have the Well of Ascension, and then the Hero of Ages. And I like that his Mistborn books have blue elements in them, and then Elantris has orange elements, and then this is green. I think his Stormlight archives have red elements in them, so it keeps them all looking like similar in uniform, but you can still tell the different series apart because of the main primary color that they have associated with them, which I really like. So that is my small book haul for the month. I picked up 7 physical books and 1 Kindle book. I haven't bought any Audible books in a while, even though we do have a credit, so I might have to look on there and see if there's anything that catches my eye, or if Sky would like to pick out the next book. I'll let him do that, but that's for next month to figure out. So I would love to know if you've read any of these books. If so, what you thought about them, especially the books in the Cosmere. Elantris was my first book by Brandon Sanderson that I read, and I really, really enjoyed it. So especially if you have good things to say, go ahead and hype up, especially Mistborn, because I'm really looking forward to getting to that as well. So yeah, I would just love to know your thoughts and what you picked up this month, if you're really looking forward to reading it, if it's going to be top priority, all those things. Please do let me know down in the comments below, and I will chat with you there until my next video. Bye!